Hello, good afternoon. Adonis back in. I know it's been some time since my last video. As you can tell, it's dark. Uh, um, yeah, daylight savings time. That's it's in full swing right now. Uh, in terms of making videos, it's gonna be quite dark. I think the last time, if I recall, when I made videos when it was pretty dark like this, was back with January. I know December for sure. There's a memory I remember of a video I was looking back at it. I think it was in December. It was like dark like this. Uh, but yeah, so hey, it is what it is. Um, how you been? How y'all been doing? Hope life's going great. For me, life's still same old, I suppose. Um, yeah, nothing much. Uh, main thing. Oh, well, today I guess something to talk about was my dad. He had this morning he had told me that one of his buddies, I remember the guy, one of his buddies passed away. I guess yesterday. Um, it was it was a guy that worked with my dad for a while, a long time ago, but he passed away, and it wasn't from cancer because he had cancer. He survived cancer. It wasn't that. I think it was like 50 something. But what happened was he worked in construction, so I guess he was going to a job site. Something happened with the van. He was having some sort of issue with the van, and where he was at, it was one of those like areas that are super steep, like this. I've been to. I remember a long time ago. I remember my uncle took me to a place out here in Texas that's like super, like the where like the how the houses and everything are. They're like super steep like that, so you have to make sure you put parking brakes and whatnot. Well, I mean, he put it in park, but when he went under the van to like, I guess, see what was the issue with it, it rolled on top of him. Now, like for me, I mean, I've seen videos of in the past where vehicles, like people survive vehicles rolling over them, right? Granted, it could be like their bone structure could be a major thing, and for him, from what I was told, like because he survived cancer, he was just very. I remember the last time I saw him, he was I don't know about the last time, the second last time, he was a quite big guy, right? Um, but from what my dad told me, he's like really skinny now, like from the cancer. So I'm like, I guess because I guess if he was like bigger, maybe he would survive. I don't know, but obviously he didn't. Just like, man, it's crazy how you know. For me, I thought when my dad told me about him, and then he mentioned about a van, I'm like, oh, he got in a car accident, in the van. Well, he told me he died, and then he brought up the van. I'm like, oh, I just put two things together. I'm like, oh, he got in a car accident in the van. No, the van ran him over. I'm like, what? That is not what I was expecting. It's just like, what? It's like, man, you go through your whole life surviving cancer and whatnot, and other situations, but no, getting run over the van. That's it. That's the big kicker right there. Just like, ah. I mean, yeah, you gotta be careful. Granted, it must have been fast because you think I don't know. Probably many of us wouldn't pay that much to attention. Like if you're on your back, you're focusing on whatever the issue is, depending on wherever the vehicle is, right? I mean, yeah, I don't, like, especially like if it was steep hill. He probably just had few seconds before he just started going. 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. I don't know. Um, but I mean, based on his age and probably how healthy he was. I don't think he definitely did not have the uh, that athletic the athletic composure to be able to like either move your whole entire body in the middle so you don't get ran over, or you just jump out or you like slide. I mean, easier said than done, of course, but it's like unless you're aware of it, yeah, it sucks because you know, he worked with my dad for a long time, like on side jobs for many years when I was back when I was still in school, high school, high school, middle school, but um, I don't know. I guess I don't know. Like for a while, he didn't work with my dad for a while. I guess he had other things going on and whatnot. So it was just like, man, yeah. I was like, yeah, I remember that guy. Um, good work. I'll tell you what, good work is just like, man, that's such a sad way to go out. It's like, especially when you survive cancer, that's such a huge feat. And then, nope, just getting run over by your own van. It's not like someone hit you, or yeah, that was the second thing. I was like, okay, like either he got hit or he got in a car accident with the van, or because he was talking about like he had to do there was an issue with the van. He had to get out. That's where I'm like, oh, someone hit him. A hit and run, right? When he stepped out, depending where it was at. No, X, two strikes right there. No, he got he got ran over. It's like what? Not what? Not my first two choices. Like what? Maybe eventually I would have guessed that, but that's definitely not something I would have just like yeah. First thought, it's like yeah, he got ran over. Like no, just crazy how life just ends that quickly. And that's one of the things that's when it comes to life, it's like we live through life every day. Depending on what you're doing, I mean, there's a chance of you dying every single day if you think about it, right? Because what I don't know the statistics, but so many people die every day. So many people are born every day. And it's like, are we lucky to live it every day? If you think about it, I don't know what's the chances of like dying each day, like 1% plus, or if you're on the road 2%, or what I'm saying. It's like one of those things. Like maybe not even, maybe that's quite high. Honestly, might be like half a percentage or something super low. But it's like, well, if people can win the lottery, then you can be that one person. You can be that statistic for that day gone. And well, my dad's friend, he was part of that statistic yesterday. Like, man, that's it, I mean, I doubt with technology. This is more like fantasy, but like, wouldn't it be interesting to know how you die? Like, if there was some sort of machine or device that would tell you, like, hey, it doesn't tell you how long till, but it'll be like, hey, you die by blah blah blah, right? Granted, I'm sure that would traumatize most individuals of not being associated with such event. It's like, oh, you die in um, by drowning, right? Well, after you tell that person, that person probably would not go anywhere of any bodies of water for the rest of their lives, right? And if they even in their own pool, they probably would have some sort of like have someone with them, or have some sort of like safety device or ladder, something to where like just not take that risk, right? I'm just like, man, that I wonder if there's a movie concept of that. I'm sure there's something related to that, like maybe at a certain point, or they come out with a device or service or something, right? Where it's like, hey, you're gonna die by this event or something, right? Heart attack, car accident, drowning, cancer, whatever it may be. But it just doesn't tell. It's not like the Grim Reaper. It can't tell you like, well, you're gonna die. I wonder what would be, I guess, more or less better or worse, knowing how you die or knowing when you die. Ooh, now that's a good question. Would you rather know how you die or when you die? Comment down below. Hmm. I would probably say I want to know how I die. Right. I don't know what. Hold on. Let me try. Because if you know when you, unless it's like the general, like you'll die in next five, like instead of being like you'll die in 7 years from now, you'll die in 5 to 10 years from now, or you die within 10 years, like something not exact, but just more general, like 5 to 10, or within 10 years, within 5 years, something like that. Mm, I don't know, because like, hey, you're gonna die in the next 5 years. I mean, that could be tomorrow. That could be 9 years, 11 months. It's ah, I don't. Yeah, you know what? Because the thing is, you're gonna be paranoid about everything, especially like if it's like 5, 10 years, and you're entering that 10th year. Like you're gonna die on, like, yeah, you're gonna be just paranoid every single day, right? So I think I'd rather know how I die, because at that point, it's like if it's in a car accident, then it's like, well, I mean, it is what it is, right? Because you gotta go out. I mean, yeah, I mean, we're all careful driving, but I mean, how many more precautions can you do? And I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, buy a better, safer vehicle, or install some sort of modifications and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, there's so many only so because if you get hit by a train, it doesn't matter how well of a vehicle you have. You get hit by a train, you're done skis, right? So but if it's like you die of heart attack or cancer or drowning, I mean, it just was a risk aversion. If it's like die drowning, well, I'm not getting near any water, right? Granted, you don't even have. I would say, I guess, drowning doesn't have to be you drowning in body of water. You can, like, let's say you're drinking water, or you goes the wrong tube and you choke to death. You drown, or whatever the case may be, right? Um, I don't know. That's such an interesting topic to discuss, because like, when I know when or how, pick it's pick your poison at the end of the day, because uh, one way or another you're dying, but it's just more of that peace of mind, so to speak. Just like, should I, live my life for up to this certain period of time, like the next 5 years, just go all out. I know I'm going to die, so I'm just going. Doesn't matter how much debt or whatever I take. I'm just going crazy, right? Because like, hey, you're gonna die in the next 3 years. You just blow everything. Credit cards, loans. You're gonna die. It's like I'm not taking that with me, right? Or I'm taking that all with me. So once I go out. So, oh yeah, because damn, that's crazy. Because you would just your whole life would just change. Hmm. Oh man, that's interesting too. Because like, yeah, because you know how you die. Well, I mean, that could be 20, 10. There's no time frame, right? But if you know when you'll die, I mean, it's like you'll die within the next 10 years. Well, shoot, screw saving, screw doing. I'm going all out. I'm going crazy. It's Vegas. Here I come. Whatever. It's like you change your whole life output, because you're gonna make so many different decisions. Because instead you thinking, oh, I may live for another 20, 30, 50 years. I may only live 10 years, 5 years. Well, then I'm speed running everything I want to do right here, right now, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like, I know I'm dying. It's like, why not just do what I want to do and just go out with the bang, right? So, granted, you may die earlier, or I don't know. That's also one factor too. This how you're told, is this like fit, like set in stone, or is it, if you change your decision making based on this information, would you die earlier, right? Or live longer? It's like, if you know you're gonna drown, what if you what if you were going to actually drown 5 years, but because you stayed away from bodies of water, you live for another 30, 40, 50 years, right? You know, or that'd be interesting. Like, is it set in stone no matter what you do, or if you make if you make certain decisions, you're done skis, right? So it's one of those things that hold up. There was a police officer over there. With how dark it is right now, yeah, you couldn't see them until you go out around the corner. But yeah, it's like that would be a tough conversation to have because like there's so many things to think about when discussing a topic like this. So you know what? Let me know what you think of. Let me know your comments, your thoughts of it, and I'll reply back based on what you say because it's definitely one of those like group discussions on it. Which is the better decision, knowing when you'll die or knowing how you die. Well, we'll see. So that'll be it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Take care. See ya.